collaboration. Omotoyinbo, say something.
Deji is my name. Say Etipa.
I hope
my name is Deji. Come, somebody told me yesterday that when we were talking about the AC that they were hearing at home.
It was from that one, sir.
It was from the one guy sent me a message on Twitter that I heard when we were complaining about the.
My name is not Deji.
It's on the
match info.
Testing 1 2 3.
My
check 1 2 3.
Not TNTA. Are you sure?
No,
the guy,
no, not NTA.
When I go TV, let me go.
No.
Okay, what you say? What to me? Shall Buhari. There's all but that's only AC now. So what paso? One, you want to go.
Sorry. So we article will win election.
Abio, is coming.
The other match is
Burundi,
Guinea. Momo. Ṣé GSS wà bí ni? Mo mọ̀ ṣe bá ti ṣe wọ́n voice check. Mo mọ̀ kàn wá gbọ́ ní
kí ni group B. Ṣé tiwa ni?
Group B tiwa.
If we top, we'll
between Jelili, I'm on 30-minute break. Between the first and second game. There's 1 hour now. How can you do that? The first match is second. The second match is 8. 5 to 7. This one is 5. It will finish by 7. So we can come back at 7:30. For the game at 8 is Kokawa.
So the other match is taking place simultaneously.
Yes. That's Burundi, Guinea.
Serious.
Stand by. Who should remove their hands from the shot?
Some people do it.
You should leave it. Okay.
You want only can go away. Sorry.
Oh, we're too good.
We only can relax.
Good afternoon. Welcome to AFCON 2019, an NTA HOTSPORTS collaboration that is coming to you live from our beautiful studios of HOTSPORTS in Lagos, Nigeria. I am Shegun Odegbami. I am your main anchor for today's epic match, a David and Goliath encounter in African football between Madagascar and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. With me on the show today to take you through this wonderful match, to my right, playing my position when I was playing football, the pundit himself, Shegun Agbede.
Good afternoon, Big Sheikh. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and you're quite right to describe it. It is really a David and Goliath battle.
To my left, playing CJ, the Chief Justice of the Federation's position, outside left, the most dangerous position in Nigeria's team at the moment is Deji Omotoyinbo.
Nowhere as talented as Chief Justice. Nowhere. Always good to be here. A pleasure to be your company, Big Sheikh.
Today's fixture is truly going to be epic. I'm sure these two gentlemen will tell you. But the only thing I will say, first of all, is that Madagascar have never, ever beaten Nigeria. Not only that, Madagascar have never, ever scored Nigeria even a single goal. But now here they are in Egypt, and they are doing what Napoleon could not do. So we are in truly for an epic match. So what are the fixtures again? Madagascar versus Egypt. But we also have in that same group B, I think it is Burundi versus Guinea. Now you will start to do all the manipulations and calculations and all of that to find out who can come out at the end. To start with Nigeria, we have qualified. We have 6 points, I guess, 6 points. And then the other teams, we really don't know who and who will qualify, will go through. So we'll be seeing the fixtures now, and we'll be looking at some of the match information. Then we'll be looking at the head-to-head. But before we do all of that, let me just hear my two guests just tell us their feelings before this conversation starts.
You know, all along, people have been asking who's been the most impressive team in Egypt so far. Some people said Senegal before they lost to Algeria. Then there was Morocco with their thoroughly professional defeat of Cote d'Ivoire, or even Egypt, you know, winning 2 games back to back. But I think for me, the most impressive team has actually been Madagascar, ranked 108th in the world. They didn't have a prayer coming into this competition, but what did they do? They battled Guinea. I think you and I were on set that day. We didn't give them a chance. I thought they were going to be thrashed down, you know. And then they went on and beat a very hard fighting, very courageous Burundi with an excellent free kick from Marco, which is something that I will sound a note of caution to the Nigerian defense today. Give away set pieces, free kicks on the edge of the penalty box at your peril. They should be very close. He took 2 free kicks, scored 1, second one was very close. So really impressed with Madagascar. And I think if they don't get beat today with a big margin, even if they lose, I still think they're in with a chance, you know, to go through with 4 points, to go through to the second round, and they thoroughly deserve it.
Deji?
Well, you have to credit, like Sheikh said, you have to credit Madagascar. They've been fantastic. First timers already on 4 points, going into the final game, and in with a chance of topping their group if indeed they defeat Nigeria today, which we cannot write off anymore. We don't know the kind of Nigerian team we're going to see. We expect that there might be changes because the Super Eagles have already qualified. We wait and see about that. But every tournament needs a Cinderella story. So maybe Madagascar is the Cinderella story for this tournament.
So the fixtures again, if you on your screens, at 5 o'clock, Burundi will be playing Guinea, which is going to be held simultaneously as the Nigerian match. Madagascar will be playing Nigeria. Then at 8 o'clock, we have what a match that would be in prospect: Uganda versus Egypt, and then Zimbabwe versus Congo Democratic Republic at 8 o'clock. Gentlemen, it is Shegun. I know you have told us severally on other fora about the quality of teams in Africa, and you know how to put these things. How can you, in a group that has Burundi, we are talking about Burundi, talking Madagascar, you are talking Guinea, none of them near a giant, and here we are doing calculations and permutations about who would join Nigeria going forward.
So I think the AFCON 2019 has taught me, as a football pundit of many years, a lesson. And I think, you know, they say sport mirrors life. In life, never take anything for granted. It's sports. I mean, I must admit, when I saw the fixtures, we were grouped with 2 first-timers, Burundi, Madagascar, then, okay, Guinea, yeah, they've given us a run for. You know, I felt a sense of elation. But thinking about thought to myself, you know, that's not the way football is now. There's this platitude that everybody keeps on saying, there are no more minnows in football. But basically, it's a matter of pride. It's a matter of, you know, teams that are, I mean, Madagascar's coach, for instance, David Dupree, I went through his profile. It's second division amateur teams, but he's been coach of Madagascar for 2 years, and they're quite decent. They got to the semi-finals of COSAFA last year, knocking out South Africa along the way on penalties, only losing to Zambia by a long goal. So he's brought some belief, some confidence, and even Burundi, ranked 134th in the world, were very unfortunate, dare I say, to lose to Nigeria, and even more unfortunate to lose to Madagascar as well. So it just goes to show that in football, once it's 11th, and in the age of technology, our players, everybody knows our players, so-called bigger players, they watch them on the Premier League around Europe, but these young lads are represented by little or known is known about them. And
no, but truth be told, and maybe Deji will take this, truth be told, the quality of football that we have seen, particularly in this group, and Madagascar played 2-2 against Guinea. We thought Guinea was not going to wipe them off, but it was not really an interesting match, I tell you, but for the goals. And then Burundi, just 1-0. So, how strong do you think this Madagascar team really is? How strong do you, based on what we have seen during this championship?
I'll be very impressed with them. You know, the first game against Guinea, Shegun and I were here, and at halftime they were 1 goal down, and they looked down and out. It seemed like Guinea was going to go on and add a couple more goals and make it a comfortable victory. But maybe there was a light switch somewhere. They came in the second half, scored 2 goals within 6 minutes, and Guinea had to battle to get a penalty to equalize. And then the game against Burundi, they were compact, they were defensive, they were composed. And when the chance came for the free kick, Shegun mentioned Marco belted the ball into the back of the net. So and Shegun told us about how well they've done beating South Africa in the COSAFA Cup. So you know the COSAFA Cup has made them a tournament team. They've learned how to play tournaments. So while this is their first AFCON, this is not their first tournament per se. So a bit of experience in there. And you know, when you're a lesser team, nobody expects much from you. You know, anything can happen. And I have a theory about football. Maybe Biche can debunk that. It's 11-11. You know the team across you is more talented than you. So you know you how to out-effort them. You have to put in the shift, because you don't have the talent like they have. And I think they're doing that, and it's working for them.
I know, Deji, even I think Big Sheik is, can I use the word, a victim of that? 1978 African Cup of Nations semi-final.
About Uganda.
Yeah, the whole world expected
Nigeria to win.
To wipe the floor with Uganda. It didn't happen.
But look, I always refer to history. That there's something about history that impacts, maybe psychologically, otherwise, on teams that play. And I said it at the start of the program, we have met them 4 times. They have never scored against us. Now you can see, okay, this is the form guide for today's match. Maybe you can help us go through that, Shegun.
Yeah, we've actually played them 5 times, but there's never scored against. I think we scored against them 5 times. Their only point against us is a goalless draw in the year 2000. So basically, we are massive favourites on paper. But as I said, with their coach Nicholas, they're a decent side. You know, they play 4-3-3, which they played against Burundi. Whether they're going to be a bit more defensive, because what they'll be looking for is a point. 5 points will definitely take them into the second round as group winners, depending on what Guinea does. But I don't want to crack my base with the palpitations.
If they get 5 points, they'll end up in second place.
But see the kind of opposition they have played. They made Burundi as the last match. They played Guinea 2-2. They played Mauritania. Mauritania defeated them. You see, now they played Kenya, and that's away from home. Madagascar won. They played Luxembourg. That's not a team anyway. Luxembourg they played 3-3, and that's away from home. And Nigeria, in our own case, well, we are the one goal specialist. Played 1-0 against Guinea, 1-0 against Burundi, 0-0 against Zimbabwe, 1-0 against Egypt, and then the friendly, and then the 3-1 against Seychelles. So on the balance,
they lost to Senegal 1-0
before the tournament.
So I want Shegun to eat his words today. Nigerians, listen. This man on this set, you told everybody that the problem with Nigeria is that we don't know how to take seize on the opportunities of set pieces.
Oh yes,
And before you finished, this man heard our coach get a row. He heard, and he confessed actually that he was training his team, was practicing to make use of set pieces.
Well, I was really worried, because what I actually said was that they should just award, anytime we get a corner kick, they should just give it as a goal kick. And they were, because set pieces are so important. The Burundi-Madagascar game was heading to a goalless draw, because the truth of the matter, the Burundians were even better on the day, and they cancelled each other out. But one moment of brilliance from Nicholas, I'll be practicing Ilya Madaratra. Thank you very much. I'll be practicing that all day. So basically, that's the benefit of set. But I am a bit worried. If there's anything I'm worried about, yes, first things first, we've not met the most illustrious of opposition, with all due respect to Guinea and Burundi and even Madagascar today. When we come up against the Ghanas, the Cameroons, the Egypts, the Moroccos, the question is, where are the goals going to come from? I'm a bit worried that coming into this competition, after the qualifiers, our goals have dried up for 2 main reasons. One, I think our transition play is not as good as it should be. 2, our strikers are stout of supply. Odion, the system we play, we generally play 4-2-3-1 with one striker who is kind of marooned. He doesn't get enough support from the flanks. The wingers stand too far apart from her. They don't join the play. And because we play a defensive double pivot against whatever opposition, they are not that creative enough to supply those two passes to the middle of the park. And we still haven't, got a solution to our number 10 right now. Those are the issues we have. I hope that Guerrero can sort them out if we're going to progress deep into this competition.
Yes. Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is plenty of smoke without fire. Our firepower up front, when you look at the names, is such that when you unleash on any team with 5-6 goals, but 1 goal in each match, just add to what you said.
I think that, coming into a tournament, you don't know what to expect. This tournament has shown that the quote-unquote smaller teams are well prepared. And apart from a few games, most of the so-called big teams have had to work hard for their victories. So all credit to the smaller teams. So
was it about the smaller teams, or was it about our own frontliners not doing?
No, I think the smaller teams made us work. Made us work in the sense that it wasn't a stroll in the park. We can have a 1-0. It wasn't as if we had 70 or 75% possession. They actually played too and had a few chances. So we've had to work hard for those victories. But I'm happy with the fact that, well, we've not scored many goals, but I think defensively the team has been steady. And once you are steady defensively, the chances are at some point. I believe at some point goals will come. But as long as you keep winning, hey, I will take 1-1 is the final and take the trophy. I'll take that. If that's what's going to take to win the trophy. But I just believe that at some point, the goals will come. Because the team, as we saw, they've not been playing badly. Especially in the latter stages of the 2 games we've seen so far. They've come in, they've dominated the game. And I think the first game there was a few selection problems. It got better again in the second game. And I think this game, they might actually break free because I feel there will be changes and some players might want to prove their worth to the coach, hoping to get a look in the knockout stages.
We've played 4 games, two friendly matches, 2 in this. We've only considered 1 goal. That must speak volumes.
No, I'm really, you see, when you're looking at this stage, you have to have a global perspective. So in as much as I'm not overwhelmed with creativity in our attacking play, I'm really impressed with the way we've defended to the extent. This is a team that I think we'll all agree, the 3 of us sitting here, that we came into this tournament with problems and challenges in the goalkeeping department. But right now we might as well have a 3 in goal. The way and manner in which the defensive, the back 4, or even a 6 with Ndidi and Etebo Foley have protected our goalkeeper. Although, saying that, Akpeyi has pulled off a couple of decent saves, especially against Burundi, which is ironical because Burundi actually created better and clearer cut chances against us than Guinea did. So at times, these FIFA rankings, you wonder, Burundi ranked 134th in the world. Guinea
I think the thing about FIFA rankings is the fact that at times some countries don't play, and when you don't play,
you drop down.
So I really believe it's a function of how many games you play and the quality of opposition that you play. So I don't read too much into the FIFA rankings because it can, like it's shown this tournament, it can throw up false narratives. Some teams are much better than their rankings indicate.
Algeria is ranked 68th, but they're much better than that. Mali are ranked 62nd. That they're sure they're much better than that. But one place where FIFA ranking is quite right was Ghana and Cameroon yesterday. They ranked 50th and 51st, and they literally cancelled each other out. But basically, I think kudos to our defense. I'm really impressed with this young lad, Awaziem, Chinedu Awaziem. I've always been wanting, it's always like part of the furniture. He went to the World Cup, did get a game. He's always a get a rose squad, come up me. But now he's shown his utility because he's a nominal central defender who has adapted very well in place of Sheikh Mohammed on the right, and he's been great. Olaino has impressed me greatly as well. And then I'm really impressed with Leo Balogun, he barely got any game time for Brighton this season. But when push came to shove and he had to step up against a very physical Guinea side, he came in for Trustekon and covered. And then what can you say about Kenneth Omero, a player that shone like 1,000 stars in 2013, kind of went off the ball in after the World Cup in Brazil, but has resurrected his
Like,
career
he
big time with
reinvented
Leganes, and it's looking at like he might actually be recalled to Chelsea and get some playtime there.
And you know, as an ex-footballer myself, when it comes to games like this, you find out that the role of a captain is so critical in a competition of this nature. Who is our captain?
Mikel?
I
Mikel
understand.
is the team captain.
On the bench.
Well, I
No, I'm talking of taking responsibility when things are not going well on the field
pitch.
of play. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it depends on who. If Mikel plays, he tends to be the captain. But there's a young man that 2 players I'll mention that are evolving into a captain kind of mode. He mentioned Omero, and I'll say Ndidi. On the pitch, those 2 seem to be the talkers, the go-to guys, the hey, let's go kind of players. And it's very good to see, especially Ndidi. I think Ndidi, for me, I think Shegun and I agreed, is obviously a future Super Eagles captain.
I allowed Trustecon on that list.
And Trustecon
Yeah,
too.
Trustecon very. I noticed him in the Olympics. The Olympic team, he was very
impressive.
very aggressive.
Very talkative,
very combative and everything.
Hands-on.
Because
And even Ahmed Musa, who used to be very quiet, I mean, he's grown into the role of Super Eagles captain as well in Mikel's absence. And you know, Big Check, your question was a very profound one. Who is the captain?
Who's the leader?
Who is the leader? No,
I
but who's
would
the
have
I would have preferred
No,
that.
but that's
Who's
the
the
captain.
leader?
No,
The
that's
captain
the
is
but
the
who is the
leader.
captain's the leader? Because at the end of, do you merit your position? You know, you can't say you're captain because now you don't take past there. You've been there the longest. No, you have to be the captain. You have to be the leader by example. You know, you have to lead from the front. You have to lead by the effort and what you bring to the team. And the question is, remember, this team qualified for this competition without Mikel. We should remember that. Genetro, when I first heard about, as far as I literally went to go and beg him to come back. I don't know whether that's. I don't think that well.
I felt, maybe rightly or wrongly, I felt Genetro. His thinking was that I don't have too much experience in this team. You know, we made the point. This team, only 3 players have been to the Nations Cup before. Omero, Mikel, and Ahmed Musa. All the other players are coming to the Nations for the first time. So I think he felt I needed a bit of experience, maybe even off the pitch as well. On and off the pitch, a bit of an older head. The other players I'm not saying that's what he did, but I just get a feeling that might have been the reason he called him back.
I raised the issue and would expand the conversation. When we look at the group standing now, then we'll come back to that issue because it's so important. The next set of matches we are going to have are going to be much more difficult matches where you call upon the experiences, the strengths, and all of that of players. But here we have the group standing, and so far Nigeria is leading very, very clearly. Shegun, help us analyze it, please.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. 1-0, 1-0. As they would say, half nil. The major thing is that we did what we had to do. And as I said, for me, Madagascar is the most impressive team for me in the tournament.
They have 4 points.
They have 4 points.
They are almost through.
They are almost
but they are not through because if Guinea
beats Burundi, which is likely, Guinea will now have 5 points. That will take them out.
No, Guinea will have 4 points.
Oh, sorry, 4 points.
Well, it might be goal difference. If we beat them, if they lose to Nigeria, and Guinea win,
when they lose,
they'll both be on 4 points.
But
you know,
if let's put it this way,
happens with the head-to-head.
if both teams do
finish on 4 points,
no, if it's a draw, if this game ends in a draw for whatever reason,
Madagascar
qualify
automatically
in second place.
Yes.
So that no matter what Guinea does, they're out. So Guinea will be praying that we want to prove a point against Madagascar and take them out. And there's no guarantee that Guinea will be able to beat Burundi anyway, because Burundi will be playing for pride. And I still insist that Burundi, in spite of their lowly ranking, the lowest ranked team in this competition, they played with so much fight, with so much pride, with so much power, and really they didn't deserve to be on the back of 2 losses.
No, but realistically, you know, Madagascar will not beat Nigeria. Madagascar is not likely to draw with Nigeria. So Guinea really have a very, very good chance.
They do. Well, the truth about it is, once they get 4 points, it's going to be interesting because it's going to be.
Because I think there's a group. I can't remember. There's a group that there are 6 groups. I think one group, there's a group that nobody can get to 4 points.
Exactly.
You know, no, you can't have 3 teams on 4 points. So that group is out of the reckoning. So out of 5 groups, there are 4 places.
Tanzania is gone
So
for,
the
for
chances that
instance.
if you get 4 points in any group, you are likely to go through as one of the 4 third best place
In
finishers.
fact, you're right. Very good point, Eji. DR Congo is out because they lost 2 games, so
Yeah.
they're out. Tanzania lost 2 games back to back, so they're out as well. So that means that's 2 groups already. Yeah,
So
2
the
groups.
chances are if you get to 4
Yeah, you
points,
get to
it's
4 points.
likely-
Once again,
So
so-
Guinea will feel, if I get 4 points, no matter what happens within Nigeria and Madagascar, if I get 4 points, I'll likely go through as one of the
Yeah.
third best
So
places.
Madagascar would almost certainly go
Almost
through.
certainly,
Yeah,
yeah, even
definitely
if they go
as
through
well.
us, I think they'll almost certainly go through.
So I was raising an issue before. You know, I want you to listen carefully. I played number 7 for Nigeria. For 3 years, I was the highest goal scorer in the domestic league. 2 Nations Cups, I was part of the highest goal scorers for 2 Nations Cups. Then you people make me captain. And the goals just dried up
Wow.
because of the responsibility
Yeah.
of being captain. I'm just looking at Ahmed Musa. He, I think, is the one in front of the Nigerian attack who holds some of the key. Remember, he came into the first match and he changed. But yet, Ahmed Musa doesn't score anymore as he used to.
I'm of the opinion, Big Shed. I was going to brace this before you. I didn't know you were going to raise. I'm of the opinion that, honestly, I feel defenders or defensive midfielders make better captains. I personally don't like strikers being captains. I like situation where strikers you just go and get me goals because he's playing up in front there. I feel defenders and defensive midfielders can see the whole play from the back, can organize their teams better. That's my view. But hey, I'm not a top footballer.
No, even though Ronaldo, number 7,
Yeah.
plays in front on the wings,
Messi.
Messi, he plays also
Harry
from
Kane.
the wings. You know, David Beckham, Messi is not 7. We're talking of the lucky
Oh,
7.
you're
So
talking
my
of
friend,
lucky
and you are calling number 10. 7's man. Yeah.
They're the captains.
But I don't necessarily agree. I do agree that I prefer defenders and midfield players because they see most of the game in front of them being captains. But I do agree with you for one thing, and we saw it in the Women's World Cup going on as we speak in France. I think it was a massive mistake. It's all, you know what they say, hindsight is 20/20 vision. I think it was a massive mistake to make Desiree Oparandus the captain because she was a shadow of herself in the World Cup. Either for me, the captain should have been on me.
Could it be Richard, that if you're the captain and you're supposed to be scoring and you're not scoring, it weighs on you?
Absolutely.
You feel you're not doing your job, you're not leading the
Absolutely.
team.
Absolutely.
And then you're looking at other people's.
Yeah.
And then the game is going on, and then you are not scoring goals. You now need to score goals, so you take on things you are not supposed to take on.
And
It's just
overdo
personal
things.
experience.
But the flip side for me, I don't think it's affected Ahmed Musa's game. I saw watch him live in South Africa. We took on South Africa. I think he scored the goal. They won the goal that brought us to today. Was a 1-1 draw. Probably scored a couple more. I think that should have stood. I think the captainship hasn't bothered him in any way, shape, or form. I think his game is his game. You know, I don't think it's worried him.
Your friend, the coach, Gennett
Gennett
Rowe, he's there, and he's looking very, very confident these days.
Birthday boy a few days ago.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
66. He looks 10 years younger. You know, I love Gennett Rowe's mien. He's a very warm. I've related with
No,
him.
he
I've
looks
said-
different now. Before the Nations Cup, he aged like 10 years. You could see worries all over his face. But see his face now.
But one thing I like that he's done though, there's been a certain level of maturity and calmness with the national team. Maybe it's got to do with his age. Maybe it's got to do with the fact that players seem like a father figure because of his age and all of that. There's been something recently, but generally, in the whole past since we've been the manager of the team, we've not had too many negative stories coming out of the national team, and I think that's a credit to him.
And I hear that we may have a few changes in today's match. We haven't seen the team list. But if you were a coach, what would you do with
Well,
that?
I actually saw a team list earlier. I cannot.
I haven't seen it.
I saw one, but I can't. I can't.
It's not the official.
It's all official, so the veracity is in doubt. But he had Ikechukwu Ezenwa in goal. He had
Ezenwa.
yes, in goal. He had Trustekon and Diombalukun as centre backs. That means Omeru getting a rest. Olaino and Awazim on the flanks. Midfield, John Ogu, Etebo, up front, Mikel. Mikel was in the middle as well. Probably going back to that 10, we shall see. If we shall see. Well, against Madagascar, if Mikel cannot perform at 10 against Madagascar, then I think you should just.
I honestly feel that no matter.
Then Kalu and Ahmed Musa on the weeks, or Galu.
I honestly feel that any 11 players we put out from this squad against Madagascar should be able to get a result. I should be able to at least get a draw. That's my view. So whoever he puts out, we need a draw to top, a win to win our 3 group games. Incidentally, I think if we win our 3 group games for the first time at the Nations Cup, which was a surprising start when I came across it. But I feel in that squad, even some of the free players, any 11 players we put on should be able to at least get a draw against Madagascar.
Is this sort of a match, the one where you now just give other players an opportunity to play, or the one where you now use to build a team? You are not playing well enough, so you need to field your best team so that they will now start to blend as a team going into the more difficult matches. Or you just want to use this to rest certain players because the team is a bit tired and all of that. What would you want Genofro to do in either of these cases?
I think he's looking at it that he wants to go deep. This is game 3 of hopefully will be 7 games. So he wants a situation where everybody gets a taste of action in case the injuries along the way. Ezenwa and Gobi, it would be nice to see him, in a match. This is supposed he actually starts.
I just saw Ogu, I just saw Kalu. It does look like the players warming up are the ones that are playing.
So maybe I should have claimed that is my own anticipated 11.
And that's Ekong. So it's still going with your list. Ekong is also there. I get what you're saying. It's a tough balancing act. You want to get your team in the groove.
Yeah.
By maybe playing well, getting into good form, going forward.
Absolutely. Because you haven't been playing well. So maybe use this as a game where you get into the groove, score a few goals, and get your confidence sky high against the knockout stages. But it might also be a situation where you feel, okay, let me give some players a rest. So it's always a tough balancing act for managers to decide, and maybe that's why they earn so much money. they have to take it. Because where you are not scoring goals, scoring goals. You need to now rehearse the goal scoring.
The funny thing,
strategy.
I think maybe, who knows, maybe one of you guys is sending WhatsApp messages under the table. I say so. Because that team, which looks a bit like you're bringing some French players to have a kick, according to what I saw, Odio Igalo is starting, which will buttress your point. That, okay, fine, I might give other guys he's not going to play, or Merrill, who are 2 best players against Guinea. And Odio had a bruising encounter. A lot of Nigerians were critical. I said, hell no, this guy did well. He was up against solid African defenders who did not give him
breathing
any
space.
breathing space. They didn't give him an inch. So I guess...
But that could be a deficiency in strategy, because they just put one man on him, and that completely just ruled out whatever strategies we had.
But I think they were taking turns, actually. Yeah, there was one man on him, but they passed him off. I mean,
they were taking turns.
They were taking turns in kicking him throughout.
To avoid the cautions and yellow cards.
We've been talking about this Nigerian team over and over again. We have an opposition. Which players can we watch out for? Or what do we watch out for from this Madagascar team?
As I said, it's a team that plays their football simple. One, they're going to try their best to make sure that they run down the clock and that they nullify our own attacking threats. They're going to be compact, they're going to be disciplined, they're going to be physical. But, as I've said, in Marco, I won't bother trying to crack my head on the Sunday. In Marco, they have a dead ball specialist, which I still feel that the Super Eagles lack. And I want to complain here and now in front of Nigeria and Africa. With the Super Eagles, I don't know who is a dead ball specialist. I think that's really not good enough. On Friday, we had Ufondo in the studio. If you don't know, he played in Ava and Aqua United. That guy is a guru with set pieces, free kicks, corner kicks, you name it. I don't think it's good enough that in Super Eagles we don't have something that somebody says Moses Simon, and I say no.
Well, the last game was Moses Simon.
Yes, out of like 12 or 13 corners. No, But I hope that will improve in this. I hope their training has intensified.
Teams who feel inferior to other teams, set pieces is the way they feel they can get something.
Yeah.
They may not be able to break you down.
Absolutely.
They know they may not be able to pass their way through you, but if they get set piece. I don't know whether you guys watch Kenya against Tanzania. Kenya scored 2 absolutely fantastic set piece goals. Uganda overcame Congo DR by 2 set piece goals. So there are teams that feel I may not have the quality to play through the flanks, play through the middle, get the through pass, and I may not have a fantastic goal scorer, but any free kick around the box, any corner kick, I would have a set piece to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
and I think Madagascar is like that. So I'm agreeing with you that we have to be careful with set pieces in this tournament, especially since what we've seen what Marco did in the last game.
But I don't agree with you in the sense that you don't need to feel inferior.
Yeah.
It should complement your game.
Yeah.
You should if a team
No, the
is
point
balanced.
I'm making is I agree. I'm not saying the superior team shouldn't work on it.
Okay.
I'm saying that the inferior teams, quote and unquote, with all due respect, would work more on that because they feel I may not likely break you down.
Okay.
So if I have any opportunities, I need to take advantage of that.
Okay, gentlemen, if you are the Madagascar coach, would you play to win or play to draw? After the break, we're going on a short break now. After the break.
You brought your A game, Big Shaq.
Ronda, money. But I was not following because I just.
I should bring my face up.
So where are we now? Where are we? What are we?
I thought you guys said you had a lot of commercials. They're not taking commercial break.
Maybe than the first half.
Okay, but you want to go upload it. We are going to.
You will see them on the now. Bye-bye.
Yes, welcome back. This is your AFCON 2019 special and an NTA HOTSPORTS collaboration coming to you live. If you are not watching on this show, then you are missing out because I have the opportunity to have 2 of the greatest analysts in terms of football in this country, and I can say that, you know. Okay, so the question I asked, if you are coach of Madagascar now, would you go into this match to win or to draw? You know the implication. Let me explain it to you. If you go in there to win, that is, you are throwing all of your arsenal at the Nigerian team. The reaction is that you are opening up your rear. So Nigeria could punish you. That could be a suicide mission. If you go in there to draw, for a draw, one slip and you are out.
I think if I were the coach, I'll play with caution. I'll play with caution because the chances are, if I'm going to lose, let me not lose by more than 1 goal. Let me not have a lopsided loss. If they lose by just a goal, and then the fact is that if Nigeria scores and they are not particularly attacking, the chances are we'll play the game out. So I will be cautious, look for a draw, and if I'm going to lose by just the 1 goal, and I think with that they'll go through. I think it will be a bit too ambitious for them to want to top the group and go gung ho, and then they're opened up and Nigeria scores like 2-3 goals, which in the light of what we're going to do later might harm their chances. So I'll be cautious if they were the coach.
So coach one, cautiousness.
For me, in agreeing with Deji somewhat, I think I saw one of the Madagascar coaches that carry a sea culture sign. But so maybe. But the truth of the matter too is that the most difficult result to play for a football is a draw. It is really difficult because, as you said, if you are, it happened to us in France. I'm sorry if I keep on referring, but I came against France. We defended like hell. We couldn't break out, but one defensive error, penalty, boom, but we still can't, what. So that can happen. So, and obviously they're not going to go gung-ho for a win. So I think caution is, I think they're going to play deep. 4-3-3 can easily translate into a 4-5-1. Just leave one striker out front, looking for lucky breaks. As you rightly said, being the less favored team, they'll be looking, and with the quality they have, because that's quality, with the quality they have at set pieces, they'll be looking for that. Deliveries from corners, from free kicks, they'll be looking to exploit that. So, and they'll bring their big men up from the back. So basically, in answer to a question, a draw will suit them perfectly down to, they're not going to go conquer, they're going to sit deep, they're going to try to frustrate Nigeria. Ironically, with Nigeria, we don't have to look for a win, but we...
I was just going to ask that now, you know, you are Gennot Row. You are Gennot Row.
Yes.
How would you go
I
and
want to
play
win.
this match?
I want a win.
I want to win. I want to win.
What
But
kind
I
of a
think
win? No, the win is, look, if you go, any coach coaching the Super Eagles, you go into this match and you are thinking of anything other than to win, then you should be shot.
I want to convince you.
Okay, so
Okay.
going to win is not just going to win.
I feel that anytime you play fringe players, there is a possibility that they'll go all out. Because some of them know I'm not a starter in this team, but this is an opportunity for me to stake a claim. Like if somebody comes in and scores a hat-trick, there's no way the coach will not consider him for the next game because of the chances he's taking. So there's that possibility that some of the fringe players will come in here and try and make a statement. But I just feel that as long as the game goes on, maybe it gets to 60, 70 minutes and it's still goalless and in a draw, the coaches will just let it go. That's what I think. They will no longer chase the game at that point in time, knowing that this result is okay, we'll take it and we'll plot against the next game.
I agree with what H said. Yes, I do. But I think Ghana will not only want to win, as rightly said, I mean, definitely Nigeria against Madagascar. He's definitely want to win, but he wants a convincing win to make a statement for the latter stages. Ironically, did you refer to the history books? And 2013, we started off slowly, 1-1 against Burkina Faso, 1-1 against Zambia, after taking the lead each time. Then when we needed those goals, we scored a brace against Ethiopia. But then, if there's a goalkeeper, you know, everybody raved about Mikel, about MNK, Sunday Uba in 2013. But one of our star men in that tournament was Vincent Nyama, who pulled off, I was in the stadium that day, sitting directly opposite the post. He pulled off 2 worldly saves from headers that I thought were goal bound. So, you know, it depends, you know, I think Ghana will want us to grow into the tournament, but I think we'll be looking for a convincing win, at least a couple of goals. Hopefully, Odion gets it on the score sheet so he can free his mind up for tougher tasks ahead.
No, so that we don't get away from the subject. Because I know Nigerians now will be, you know, predicting, you know, what's score line and blah blah blah. I'm just thinking, if I were to be Ghana, if we don't give these guys score 3 goals in the first half, then there's something wrong. I don't know what you guys think.
Big check.
I don't know what you think.
I'm not optimistic.
3 and then 3, and I'll tell you the 3 front liners.
Okay.
The 3 attackers.
I'm not that optimistic.
After
I'm not that optimistic. But if I'm to make a prediction, I'll say 2-0 will do nicely. 2-0, 3-0 will do nicely. But if I get a 2-0, I'll be happy. Because I think if you grow into tournaments, what I would like to see really is another clean sheet on top of the goals that we scored. Another clean sheet, because that shows you that there's something going on positively, defensively, which I know will be good for the team going forward.
you think so too?
Yeah, I agree. At this stage, you see the biggest score in the tournament so far.
2-3. He said 2-3.
No, I'm just saying 4-1.
Widest margin of victory.
Yeah, beating Mauritania. And the same Mauritania held the next team they played again goalless. So 2-0, 3-0 will be fine, yeah, for me. Then we'll look to bigger and better things in the second round.
The 3, I said 3 front liners for me.
Okay.
I keep forgetting his name. That left-footed player.
Chukwueze.
Chukwueze.
Well, according to the lists that I saw, he's not playing today.
Well, I saw him warming up, so
I don't know.
let's be where you
Let's-
Chukwueze. Let me tell you about Chukwueze. That guy can play football. That left foot is like music. It's like, you know, he's listening to some invisible music and he's dribbling on that ball. And from the right flank, could be one of the best right wingers in the world. The way I saw him, I've only seen him play once properly, but that's enough for me. If that guy plays today, that's 1 goal. On the left side, well, Musa, I call him Mansa Musa. Okay, if he starts the game, he may not score. If he plays in the latter part of the game.
It looks like Big Check has watched this game.
No.
Oracle Big Check.
No. You know, they taught us these things that before a game, you must play the game.
Okay.
In your mind.
Okay.
In your mind, you
Okay.
play the game. And
I
so
like that.
I just, you know, those three with Igalo in front.
Well,
Three goals.
I agree. I see your dear son, and a story, a slight digression about Chukwueze. I had the privilege of being in South Africa when we played 1-1 with them in Joburg, and I spoke to a lot of guys in camp, and they said that when that was his first time, his first call-up, and they said he mesmerized them in camp to the extent that they were begging General to that he should play. He was that good that he you know, in training was.
He's a
He
fantastic
was
prospect.
That's word fantastic.
He's a
Who's that?
fantastic
The
prospect. The Chukwueze guy.
The
Yes.
Chukwueze guy.
He's a
Yes,
fantastic
in
prospect.
training, I was
And when
absolutely
you see
brilliant in
Big
training.
Check wax lyrical about a player, you must have something special.
Well, and something that, you know, most people, you know, did not know happened before this game. I got a picture from the camp, and it was about the team yesterday on the field of play, and they went through what all of us as players in all the national teams, you know, because one thing we take very seriously is, you know, divine intervention. When it comes to a game such as this, we pray in the morning, pray before we eat, pray before we sleep. All the national teams in Nigeria that I know have always been like prayer warriors. This time, yesterday, your friend, Kenneth Rowe, he led all the technical crew people around the players, and they were all praying. So pray for us before we go for this game. I don't think you should.
Father, give us victory today.
No, but you should speak about, you know, this for Nigerians. I saw also a clip of something that was sent on social media, and our boys were coming out of something, and they were singing and dancing.
I saw that.
You know, yeah, and you know, they are almost set. They are almost set. Okay, that's the locker room. We didn't have this in our time. We didn't have this in our time. No,
You
no,
wash
no.
your jersey by yourself?
No, but you see, what this does, you see, when I say prayer, really, what this does is that is the fuel that cements the
Unites
team.
the team, yes. Unites the team.
When we sing in gospel songs, we pray the Muslim way, we pray the Christian way. Nobody remembers where you are from, whether you are Igbo or Hausa or Yoruba. Everybody is singing. What I saw, you know, on social media was Musa actually singing. You know,
You know,
it's not a gospel song, but an inspirational song.
you know, in agree with what you're saying, there's still a song that up to today. This song, I first heard it in 1996. That's where I heard it, in Atlanta, when Nigeria was playing Brazil. Poya Chukunagaza.
Yeah.
Basically, we call on God and He'll hear you, and that's what the fans of the Super Eagles Supporters Club were singing over and over again, and that miracle was delivered on the pitch. So I hear you.
This is the Nigerian team. What exactly is going on here? I thought they were on the field.
No,
this is
they
previously
just-
when they were arriving.
Okay.
This is when they were arriving at the
When they were
stadium.
arriving
This is
and
about 2 hours ago.
Okay.
Just coming to the stadium. Yeah.
But
They always
that's
take shots of them
fantastic.
coming
You
down.
know, just
That's the man we have to watch. The man with the free kick, Marco Haritra, Shegun's friend.
Yes, my friend. Marco for short.
So you were telling us about, you know, unity in the team, what it creates, the atmosphere, what it does for Nigerians at home, and all of that. You know, when they see their own, Musa is teaming up with somebody bearing Christian, and somebody's bearing Muhammad, and everybody just bringing everybody together. That's what that.
No, but
creates.
football, basically, sports is first is for sports is a leveler. Like I went to Igbo College, they went to GCI. When we're in school, these were egalitarian schools that whether your father was a vendor or the
president of the
United
country.
industrialist, the two things that would distinguish you in school were academics and sports, regardless. And once you could do those two, you know, it was a level playing field, and that's the way sports is. Sports brings us together as a country. Sports is a tool for social emancipation, and it's also a tool for bringing youth out of poverty. So when you see a lot of these players come from, should I say, less, you know,
It's amazing, Big Check, that I think up till now, we still don't see sports as a national trend. which
we
is what
should.
it should be. It is
Okay,
indeed a
okay.
national treasure.
Just hold your breath there,
Mm.
because I like you to talk about that as we go onto the field.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just go on a short break now, and when we come back, let's just round off on that note.
Okay. We are waiting for the match to be closed before the run commercial. As close to the match. Owó ti dé. FIRS lélẹ́yìí. Owó ti dé.
I think we've covered everything.
Everything.
But you
In fact,
cried.
more than
What
everything,
else?
sir. Owó ti dé. FIRS ti gbówó dé.
Oya chukwu nagaza. Oya chukwu nagaza. Isaiah.
Version of it.
You will sing that stuff.
Comic one. When Nigeria beat Brazil. When Nigeria beat Brazil. Bebeto start to cry. When Nigeria beat Brazil.
That's the first I ever heard that song.
Oh, this one. This one. Okay, 30.
No, 96, yeah. Oya the supporters club. I didn't.
It's more like
What's
and
it
very
backing
unfortunate.
it?
It's been a fantastic feature of our football over the years.
It's like they've killed it now.
How many minutes more? That's what I was.
It's 4:40, so we still have like 15
More than a
minutes.
few minutes because
Because I know
they have to
that-
go now. They're already on the pitch.
Well, well done. Very profound, searching question.
Shegun, so far, your team list is correct. Ezewa, Etebo, Ekong. Team list Shegun, you are correct up to. Taluton abẹ́ ti mi ti rí wọn. Wọ́n bá tó àárín wọn. They have to go now. They have to come. They have to get you signed on now. Ogo. Team story here correct. Correct.
So we are finished.
Now I have to go and try again.
Well, sit back and enjoy this incredible match. Last word from each one of you before we go.
I got my team correction, my team prediction right.
I'd like to see a good game with a few goals. Wish the Super Eagles all the best.
Well, we hope to join you at halftime. Sit back and enjoy this. Bye for now.
Brilliant questions.
And you know, intellectually sappy.
Yes, it has to be. You have to think. You just don't just give any answers.
olùbàtà yìí mú sọ fún ẹ kí olú máa ń nu bẹ́ẹ̀ olùtọ̀ tí dẹ̀ mú sọ fún ẹ jọ́nà kí wọ́n máa ń nu ní gbàgbé yín ìgbà sí that's why they create space for you here.
What do I do?
Next time, from our bank.
àwọn náà yẹn máa ń bí dàrú. àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ní ìwé tí wọ́n yẹn á dé nínú ẹsẹ̀ wọn wọ́.
So I should stand up.